turnovers, points off turnovers. Ball security is item number one for the home team.
This just in, just about everybody in the SEC has a really good resume. That's why our own Joe Lenardi right now has the league with 14 bids. That being said, still a little meat on the bone for Missouri if they want to feel really comfortable. And Georgia, as we mentioned, Mark, could desperately use a quad one win.
For Missouri, it's about winning your 8th SEC game. I've said all year that 8 and 10 will get you in. If the Tigers win today, they're a lock. For Georgia, if you're the last team in, how do you move north on the Lenardi ladder? Simple. You win at home because there are only a few opportunities down the stretch.
Mike White in his third year in Athens after a successful tenure in Gainesville, Florida. This may be his best team. For a while, they were nationally ranked. They were the talk of the town earlier in the month of January. Now they find themselves in a situation where they still have a lot of work to do, and you wonder, with a daunting schedule ahead, how many more chances will they have if they lose a game like this one at home? For the Missouri Tigers, you know the story. They were 0-19 last year in the SEC. What was going to turn it around? Well, yes, they had a good recruiting class, but the portal class was more important, including that man, number 25, Mark Mitchell from Duke, one of the top transfers in all of college basketball. These two teams have met 21 times. Missouri leads the all-time series 11-10. Dennis Gates, a NCAA tournament appearance in year number 1, and then last year, of course, the major step back. Now in year 3, Dennis Gates believes he's got his best squad and a team that can not only get to the tournament, but do plenty of damage once they get there. 38% on the season. Missouri as a team, one of the best in the league at 37%.
Missouri is so good at drawing defenders.
Rise and fire baseline jumper is no good for LaFew. Bates finds Perkins. We got Mitchell on a post down low. That's a mismatch. Now Mitchell gets it outside. Shot clock under 10 for the Tigers. Here comes Robinson. Mitchell on a 3. And a weak side rebound by Bates, but he's out of bounds. Stepping on the baseline, it will be Georgia basketball. Georgia team under head coach Mike White that really believes they still got some of their best basketball left. At times, as Mark mentioned, the turnovers have completely done them in. If they can clean that up, there's a lot of good with this Georgia squad.
Interesting that Missouri has opted to start the game defensively by going down the full court zone pressure.
Missouri mixes up their defenses as much as anybody in the league. Mitchell with a rejection. Return to sender on the first offering. The second one, though, R.J. Godfrey muscles his way in and banks it home. We're tied. Inside, in heavy traffic, and somehow splitting the double team, Trent Pierce.
I think we'll have a little bit of a tug-of-war on tempo today. Missouri likes to play a little bit faster.
How about Blue Kane with the strong take to the rack? Kane averaging just under 9 points per game. Missouri also has the leading candidate for Sixth Man of the Year, Caleb Brill, ready to come off the bench, usually early, around the 16-minute mark. Robinson probes the baseline, hangs and hits. Just a tough, strong move by the sophomore.
Interesting that early on, both teams' offenses, they're pretty good.
Already 12 points on the board. We played a little over 3 minutes. This is Newell, the freshman phenom, projected to be a lottery pick. To Godfrey, big to big. Godfrey carves out some space to the right-hand side, and another shot off the window and in.
Only had 4 points with 5 turnovers midweek against A&M, but before that, Godfrey had been in double figures 3 straight. A good start for the junior.
4 from the field. Mitchell's been quiet. He'll take it strong. Rejected out of bounds off Godfrey. Nice block by the former Clemson Tiger out of Sewanee, Georgia. And there is the man I just alluded to, Caleb Grill. Caleb Grill shoots 49% from downtown. That's second in the country and number one in the SEC. He can hit him from everywhere. We asked Coach White who's going to draw the assignment. It's going to be a combination of guys. You cannot leave him alone. You can't go under screens. He's posting up Luke Kane. Grill kicked it out to Bates. Shot clock at 5 for Bates. And too strong on the 3 ball, but nobody grabbed the rebound for Georgia.
Long rebounds. The guards must get involved.
How about a third opportunity for Missouri? Gray left that one alive. And finally, Georgia corrals it. And that'll bring us to our first media timeout. Exciting opening stanza, 7-7 here at Stegman.
Look at us, all stressed before we even get dressed. Let's take a little time off to go off on brunch. Oh yeah, can't hurt. Let's roll with sausage, ricotta, and peaches, and quiches, and all kinds of crepe. Yeah. Let's trigger line dances, not each other. You just gotta keep the Bloodies merry, the Johnsonville funny, and keep it juicy.
I'm Libby Dunn, All-American gymnast and Viore athlete. When you travel and train as much as I do, you find happiness where you are. On the mat or on the sand, movement and comfort are essential. That's why I live in Performance Joggers by Viore. Made from dream knit fabric that's made of 89% recycled materials, effortlessly soft and made to move as much as I do. My happiness starts here, in the softest joggers on the planet.
If you know luxury, it's not just affordability, it's rewarding. Sattva Mattresses supports all types of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service, which is why over 90% of customers would recommend Sattva to friends and family. Sattva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
The Missouri Tigers, one of the most improved teams in America last year. Again, nothing went right. They were competitive in a lot of games. That 0-18 is a little bit misleading. And then the question was, how much would this team improve? Well, the bench production certainly stands out. You see over 36 points per game. That's the third benchmark in the country. And then scoring-wise, remember, Caleb Grill was injured most of the season. He has been healthy all year. And right now, as we mentioned, one of the leading candidates for the 6th man of the year. The metrics are awfully good. Remember, they beat Kansas at a conference when Kansas was number 1 in America. The net of 19 wins both at home and on the road. And right now, Joe Lenardi has Mizzou as the number 6 seed.
This would be their 5th Quad 1 win. As a matter of fact, it's a Quad 1 win opportunity for both teams. But the number to keep in mind, if you're a Missouri fan, 8. Because if you win today, that gets you your 8th SEC win. I've said all season, 8-10 gets you in, so they will be a lock in my bracket tomorrow. Joe Lenardi, I hope you're listening.
I'm sure Joe very much values the Morgan Wise Index. Not nearly as popular and not nearly as many emails as Joe likes to send us. But yeah, I think most people would concur an 8-4 Missouri team would be a virtual lock and a chance to really get a high seed as well. That is Georgia's weakness and kryptonite all year long. Unforced turnovers leading very often to buckets on the other end.
You're going to have to work really hard against Missouri just to get open.
Yes.
They're not going to let you stand in one place and be a receiver.
And every pass has to be precise. This guy's precise when he shoots it. Grill that time missed it. Josh Gray hustled for the rebound, but then threw it away.
See, I like Georgia pushing it. You may get a better look in transition.
Demery, an awful big luxury if they could get Silas Demery going, the sophomore, averaging just under 12 points a game.
Yeah, he's been really good in their last 2, averaging 21. As a matter of fact, against A&M, now they didn't. That's absolute money when Caleb Grill shoots the 3 ball.
He doesn't need to be wide open. You give him an inch, and he can get his shot off. He worked so hard on that. He's breathing heavy. That's not because he's just parked behind the three-point line. It's because he's moving to get open. I love the comparison Mike White gave us. He said, he reminds me a little bit of a guy I played with, Keith Carter.
Right.
The Ole Miss star, who was a great shooter and awfully athletic as well. He's now, of course, the AD in Oxford. It was a muscle play by Surreal.
That was good execution offensively by Georgia to beat the double team.
6'11", 260-pound freshman. Look at Caleb Grill cutting the basket and getting two more.
I think Grill has evolved into a much better, more complete, well-rounded basketball player. He's playing, in my view, the best basketball of his career.
Father Chris Grill still coaching his younger brother Alec over there at Mays High School in Wichita, Kansas. Blue Kane on a runner. Athletic move by Blue Kane, the sophomore from Knoxville.
Dare I say this, Mike? First team to 80 wins?
We're all for that.
Yes.
Give us some offense here in a rough and rugged SEC league that is so physical. Gray gets it inside, pounding in. Speaking of physical, no whistle. And absolutely no whistle. And I'm with you. I thought for sure there was going to be a foul call as Surreal absorbed the contact and took what looked to be a possible charge.
We talk about Caleb Grill and his ability to spot up at the arc. Well, if that's taken away, the defender is trailing him. So he just curls all the way to the rim. That's a nifty little pass. And Grill shows you he's more than just a three-point shooter.
Caleb Grill has had several big baskets this season. One of his best baskets was a backdoor cut two to upset the Gators on the road. And there's a play off the inbounds. And speaking of guys who have been hot of late, Jacob Cruz, averaging 9 points a game over the last four contests.
Yeah, LeFew got caught being a little bit late on the out under. Oh, here's the zone. We talked about Missouri being the team in the league that is more willing to change their defenses than anybody else.
There's a foul on the alley-oop attempt to Surreal. 17-15. Great start here in Athens, Georgia.
The Sonic Fun 99 menu just got funner with a Junior Deluxe cheeseburger, small floats, and French toast sticks for only $1.99 each. And yes, funner is a word because proper grammar is boringer. Also a word. The Sonic Fun 99 menu. Live free, eat Sonic.
Organic and dairy-free.
Here we go.
Third time today.
At Sprouts, our shelves are filled with new, exciting, and delicious discoveries. This is that Sprouts feeling. In sickness and in health. For as long as we shall live.
The top 25 teams highlight our Tuesday men's basketball doubleheader on the SEC Network. Number 15, Kentucky hosting Vandy at Rupp. And then it's number 2, Alabama visiting number 21, Missouri in Como. Mike Morgan, Mark Wise. And Mark, speaking of Alabama, Auburn and Alabama with a huge game tonight. They, of course, lead the way on Joe Lunardi's bracketology, both number 1 seeds.
Yeah, and in that reveal today, I think Texas A&M kind of surprised. I'm talking about the selection committee did a top 16 reveal today. Texas A&M was actually 6th. So the SEC had 6 of the top 12 seeds in the NCAA tournament. I don't care how you slice the pie. It all tastes great if you're an SEC fan this year.
Yeah, it's kind of like pick your accolade. How about the potential of 3 out of 4 number 1 seeds? How about dominating the 1 and 2 seed line, depending on how things finish out? It promises to be a historical selection Sunday for this league. Of course, Georgia wants to be a part of that party. They've actually moved up a spot. Talk about being fluid. They were the last team in coming into today's action. Now they're the second to last team in. That being said, if they really want to feel better about things, win this game today against a top 25 Mizzou team.
I need to know what's your over-under on the number of Lenardi emails today.
I think we're already at about 5, and we're not even in the evening hours yet. So working overtime, the steam just coming out of his ears in the bunker. It's a 1-point game, under 12 minutes to go, first half. These two teams met in the SEC tournament a year ago. Georgia putting an end to Missouri's season with a victory in Nashville.
Well, they ran a play for Mitchell on the weak side. Trent Pierce just did not see him. He was wide open on the block.
Getting this lined up for Grill to trigger it in for Missouri. Into Mitchell. They play back on Mitchell, who loves that paint. Drives, dishes, sets up a three. No, but there for the rebound is Cruz. No box out. And a foul. It would have been a highlight block, but it looked like Surreal got somebody along with the bucket.
Take another look. Second shot opportunity by Cruz on the weak side. And out of nowhere, Santos Surreal, and guess what? That's a foul. That's a foul. May not get called all the time, but that's an obvious foul.
Yes.
Good call. But if you're a big, that's where you should take your foul.
Well, yeah.
Protecting your rim and get your money's worth.
Jacob Cruz, transfer from UT Martin at the free throw line, knocks down the first to make it a 2-point lead. Missouri has made, this is one of my favorite stats. It reminds me of the Bobby Knight Indiana teams that routinely did this. Mizzou has made more free throws all year long, Mark. That's a recipe for victory.
Yeah, that they shoot in league play 26 free throw attempts per. That's second. Only Alabama shoots more, and that's one of my keys to the game. Later today with Auburn and Alabama, I'm looking at 3-point differential and free throw attempt differential. Auburn doesn't have to win them both, but they cannot lose them both.
Cruz aggressive on the step-in three. Georgia trying to get it back going on offense. Ahead of good rhythm just a couple of minutes ago. Newell is out of this game right now. We'll see where they turn for offense.
Missouri is such a big help team. Look at all five black jerseys.
The lead swells to 6 for Mizzou.
2 quick turnovers, 5 points off turnovers.
That's a settle, a deep three by LeFew. You can get that shot anytime you want. Bates directing traffic. High ball screen by Mitchell. Here's Allen. Spinning and turning it over. Great D by LeFew that time. A scrum, a jump ball, and it will belong to the Dogs. 7:39 to go. It's Mizzou 26 and Georgia 20.
Nakia Davis's decision to go from the Big Easy to Music City to play golf at Vanderbilt created a historic moment. In 1993, Davis became the first African-American athlete to play women's golf in the Southeastern Conference, leading Vanderbilt as the team's top performer in 5 tournaments that season. SEC Network honors Nakia Davis and celebrates Black history always.
SEC Men's Basketball, Wednesday. Vanderbilt takes on 15th ranked Kentucky.
The SEC and SEC Network thank our official corporate sponsors for their continued support of our student athletes during every championship season.
You only had 2 points midweek in the Oklahoma game and has already gotten off to a hot start. As a matter of fact, how hot? He's already made 3 balls And this is the 8th time this season that Bates has made 3 or more in a game. And when you talk about big-time performers in the bigger games, he had 29 against Kansas, 26 against Ole Miss, 22 against Tennessee. That 3-point differential right now, the difference in the game.
So is the turnovers, which have plagued Georgia all year long, and 3 here of late have helped the way for this Missouri 7-0 run. And what a luxury it is to have Tamar Bates. 9 points. He's led the team in scoring 4 out of the last 6 games. But as you mentioned, they blew out Oklahoma the other night. He's not much of a scoring factor. They don't need him to be. So on any given night, there's 3 or 4 Missouri Tigers that can lead the way in scoring.
And I like this move because until Georgia gets better against the zone, why not stay in it?
Absolutely. So Georgia can dissect it a little bit better here.
See if they can get the ball into 10. Godfrey in the middle. Or see if Newell maybe flashes. There's the soft spot. Good things should happen now.
And they do. Good call, Coach. R.J. Godfrey gets it in the soft spot and then converts. Baseline, Euro step, pops out of there, and ripping down the rebound is Asa Newell.
Georgia got lucky. They had no idea who was supposed to guard Allen in transition.
Newell inside, soft feathery touch by the big man, and Georgia cuts it to 2.
So now the coaching chess match starts going on because Georgia's had 2 straight possessions, good possessions against the zone. Now does Mizzou get out of it?
All of a sudden, Missouri getting chilly from outside. Georgia with a chance to tie it or even take the lead with a 3 as Kane brings it up to front court, harassed by Marquez Warwick.
And as I suspected, back to man-to-man. I'm not sure that's the shot you want.
That would definitely be a settle. And that'll be another rebound for Mitchell. Warwick loads up the triple. That one down and out.
He can make those in bunches. 44% on the year. A guy who over his career has over 2,400 points.
Scoring machine before transferring over.
And he's a Henry Clay Blue Devil. Yes. I got to talk to him about that Wednesday because let's just say our graduation dates are a few years apart, but I went to Scott County, and he, of course, went, oh, I don't like them at all.
He played for Northern Kentucky and Darren Horn. Darren Horn, of course, spent some time in the SEC as the head coach at South Carolina.
Mixing the defenses, in and out of zone, this time back in it.
Georgia has not hit a 3 as of yet, 0 for 5. Newell's got to fire it up. Newell at the buzzer, hits it! Great shot by Asa Newell with the shot clock winding down. Perkins with 10. Timeout, Missouri with 4:05 to play.
One of the staples at the next level is look early and look opposite. The NBA has been doing this for years. Watch as the ball comes up on the right side. It's the quick early opposite pass. Blue cane, praise those Blue Canes.
Hey, Dad, brought you some popcorn. You should relax. You work so hard for us.
What happened?
It's a little fender bender, but Mom already filed a claim with our agent, and we can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pays what they owe without any hassle.
Sounds like simple human sense. Well played.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you. I'm fine, by the way.
What?
My research focuses on plastic pollution. This is a worldwide issue. We find plastic in our ocean pretty much everywhere we look. The fact that some of our research has been really helpful to policymakers, decision makers, and has been able to catalyze change around the world is so meaningful. To be able to represent the University of Georgia in this field of incredible universities throughout the Southeast, I'm finding it to be something I can be really proud of.
Coming up at half, 1 versus 2 in T-Town. We'll get you ready for that one. Also, Sakai Ziegler second half. Amazing. Aggies go hog hunting. What are you seeing in this one?
Georgia's defense. They are stunting the growth as far as scoring from Missouri. They got to continue to do that to get the victory.
Eminem, who are Caleb Grill's 6th Man of the Year competitors in the SEC?
I think that's a good one.
We just covered this, right?
Yeah, we would say Thomas Hout, but he's now into the starting lineup for Florida. I'm going to go with Aiden Holloway. I think what he gives Alabama off the bench is kind of special and unique.
Yeah, efficiency numbers really good, too. It's not just the points. We talked about that with our kind of big bench brawlers, or ballers, rather, in the SEC. There's a lot of guys coming off the bench that have been very productive, but I'm with you. I think it's Grill's to lose at this point. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's second in the country in three-point percentage, number 1 in the SEC. He averages 13 points a game. So important to this Missouri squad. We talked to Dennis Gates about why he comes off the bench. I mean, he could easily start the game, and very often he actually plays a lot more minutes than some of the starters do.
You know another guy in that argument?
Who's that?
Pettiford. And they're going to play each other today.
100% agree. A quick whistle.
It's almost like Luke Gaines going, wait a minute now. We've been banging each other for the first 16 minutes plus.
It's only the 4th team. Each team with 14 fouls. It's not due to a lack of physicality, that's for sure.
You're saying they're not playing softer?
They are not playing soft. What they are doing is letting them play, because it is definitely a physical contest here at Stegman Coliseum. Here is the aforementioned Grill over to Bates. Gray. Shot clock violation, just lack of awareness by Josh Gray that time.
Second one that Georgia's been able to induce. They've neutralized Mark Mitchell. He has not been a factor in this game. And the second thing, other than that 1 minute spurt where they had 2 turnovers that led to 5 points off turnovers, they've eliminated those kinds of mistakes.
Mitchell box score to this point, 1 of 4, just 2 points. That's been beyond surprising, as well as he has played of late. Demery feeds the post inside Cerrillo, and Cerrillo coughed it up and then commits a foul.
This is Grill getting dirty, putting his Grill back into play. The ball goes into Cerrillo. Watch 31 in black with a swipe. And then a little clip in the back, if you will.
That's all ball for Caleb Grill. And I think very often when you see a guy like Caleb Grill who has such a pretty shot, and it is pretty, and you see the numbers, you think, well, maybe he's just a spot-up shooter, kind of a role player. That's not all in Caleb Grill's game. He's a lot more multifaceted than just that. Approaching 3 minutes to go at half number 1. A step back. That's a deep two that goes down for Missouri and Trent Pierce.
Pierce, who's been in a mini slump, has just 2 points in the last 3 Tiger games. At some point in time, Emory's got to make some of these. These are pretty good looks.
Offensive rebound leads to a finger roll, and that is Justin Abson, the transfer from Appalachian State. You don't get a whole lot of points out of Abson. He's in there mainly for defense. Speaking of which, trying to affect the play here, Robinson. No, Gray, yes, on that one. Josh Gray with that big 7-foot 300-pound frame gets a chance at three the hard way.
I thought Robinson got fouled on the first attempt, but Gray was inside position to mop up for the Tigers. Now, this is an adventure with Gray, just 50% on the free ones.
Gray has stamped his SEC passport 3 different times. LSU, South Carolina, and now Missouri. The officials were saying 2 free throws. Did I miss something?
Yeah, it's just one shot. Yeah.
They have fixed it. It is 1 free throw and 1 only.
After the way the game started, though, it makes me a little nervous.
I know, right? Now, you and I saw this before. Josh Gray has a hitch in his free throw attempt.
Yep.
This worked 3 different times against Oklahoma where he missed it, but got a reprieve because of lane violations. It's almost like a pump fake when he shoots it.
It's the Harlem Globetrotter trick with the string on the basketball.
So the second attempt. And that time it comes out clean and nothing but net.
I thought he did that all 3 times in the midweek game that we had. He made the extra one.
Every time. He missed it.
And he found his rhythm.
The first one is just a warm-up. A breakfast ball, if you will. Tie game. 8 ties, 8 lead changes in this first half. Look at Grill, another steal, and draws another foul.
That pass is just not there. Abson makes an ill-advised pass into traffic. The idea was for a little Princeton backdoor cut, but it was covered.
And that is the 17th foul, so rare free throws upcoming for Caleb Grill, who shoots 79% on the year. We've got another women's basketball triple header tomorrow right here on the SEC Network. It all starts with number 15, Tennessee, hosting Ole Miss. That'll be in Knoxville at noon Eastern time. Grill tickles the twine on a pair, and Missouri has a 2-point lead with 2:05 to go. Will Georgia's turnovers do them in again? That has been what has propelled Missouri multiple times to runs in this first half.
5 Georgia turnovers, but 9 Tiger points off turnovers.
So Georgia can settle down, get a good shot here. Going in down, go to the freshman Newell. Newell, pass into the corner. Demery on a 3, missed it, but a foul against Missouri. Is that on the shot or away from the ball? I could not tell who they...
I think it's on the shot. I think this is going to be a 3-shot foul. Grill with the closeout at the wrong angle. You've heard me talk about this for the last month. It seems like defenders are always taking the wrong angle. And they may take a look to see if this was a 3.
And we'll take another look at it as well. We are on the opposite side, a little bit shielded, could not see the contact from here.
They're reviewed in reference to whether it was a 2-point attempt or a 3-point attempt.
But Mark, you and I talked about this all season long, the propensity of guys fouling 3-point shooters who just don't need it.
Well, they called it a 3, and I don't think you're going to be able to overturn it off.
The call on the floor of a 3-point attempt for 5 White has been confirmed.
Yeah, he's clearly behind the line. That was not even close.
And I wanted to give a shout out to Phoebe Burdett, who was one of our officials who kind of navigated me through the start that we had today.
And we needed that.
With the wrong starter in the lineup for Missouri, and we started this game with an administrative technical foul.
Yeah, it was 1-0 Georgia before a second came off the clock. It was almost like in a baseball game where you have a guy batting out of order. You rarely see it, but that's how this game started.
Demery solid at the line, 83% on the year.
Last year named to the SEC All-Freshman team. That one barely drew iron.
You know what I really like about players, and I'm talking about Demery, in his last 2 games, he's averaged 4.5 rebounds, he's had 11 assists and 4 turnovers. So that's impacting the game in more ways than just scoring.
I'm going to give you something else to like about Demery. Checking out Georgia practice today, and their sports information director is one of the best in the business, Mike Mobley, told us that when he had the play, remember against Mississippi State, a chance to win the game late, he dribbled it off his foot. It was his only turnover of the game. A lot of players would have shied away from the post-game press conference. He told the SID, no, I'll wear it, I'll take the podium, and I'll address the questions. That's incredible maturity and leadership for just a sophomore. I know you wouldn't do that, Mark. You would have ran and hit your locker.
I might have talked to them, but I would have blamed you somehow.
What else is new? Coming up on 90 seconds. 36 all our score. Grill, look out. That time hand in his face, but he tracks down a long rebound. Lack of a box out gives Missouri another chance. Pierce on the hard take. Blocked by Newell. Another chance for Mizzou. A three ball from the corner rims off. Another chance for Mizzou. Fourth attempt. No. Gray gets it back. They'll have a fifth attempt at it. Cruz.
Yeah, that's
and
the
a
right
block
call.
Foul on Demery.
It's a late whistle, but it's the right call. Just blow the whistle when the contact happened. Mike White does not approve. I'm in the minority in terms of fouling. I think we need more fouls in our game. It's the only way we're going to clean up the physicality that we currently have in our game.
Cruz, 73% on the year. Jacob Cruz, a welcome addition from UT Martin, originally out of Hilliard, Florida, 6'8" senior. And he's really heated up. Missouri, there's so many good teams in this league. I would say Missouri's depth is right there at the top. And calmly splashes a pair to put the Tigers back in front by a deuce with 1 minute left to play in the first half.
Colleges do not do a lot of this, but I was just about to say Missouri has a foul to give. I'm not sure that's the one that Dennis Gates would have liked to have given, but is this game, let me ask you this, Mike, is this game in February or March? Because it feels like March to me.
Everything about it.
This play was done by Demery at the outset because he beats his man. When he does that, now the big has to come over and help. The cover down is not there. That's an easy catch and finish, all set up by the quickness, the explosiveness of Silas Demery.
Lisa Newell, who grew up in Athens. Grandmother used to work for the University of Georgia. He basically used to go to daycare in the shadows of Stedman Coliseum, participated in all kinds of activities. He and his brother Jaden Newell also on the team. They would swim, they'd play piano, but basketball clearly the first love for Asa Newell.
Let's see if Mizzou goes 2 for 1.
Rejected by Newell. They'll say goaltend. The trail official says it was on the way down.
Well, they're going to review it.
Right.
But this certainly looked like it was on the way up. And the problem I have with this, and the officials are within their right, that's going to be
overturned, yeah.
But we're officiating the replay and not the play on the floor.
And again, if it's close, very often they will call it because if you don't, you can't review it. So it puts the onus on the official to, if there's a gray area, to call for the goaltend.
Isolation again with Demery. See if he can beat Grill off the bounce.
Baseline drive and kick to Kane. Kane passed it up. Kane instead driving. Throws it up and in. A running hook shot. Final 10 seconds of the half with Georgia up by a point. Grill off the curl. Missed it. Rebound. Off the mark. And that's how the first half comes to a close. It was so loud in here you couldn't tell if a whistle was blown. 10 ties, 12 lead changes. What an entertaining first 20 minutes here at Stedman. The only thing that could possibly be more entertaining, the gang in studio.
Premier call of goaltending at 41.3 under further review.
Thank you, Mike Morgan and Mark Wise. We'll try to live up to that hype as we had Hagler Hearns there in the first half.
Standing in the middle of the ring.
12 different lead changes. We're having some fun. We'll get you updated of a crazy start to Auburn and Alabama in a couple of moments. But what are you seeing right there in Stegman?
I love Asa Newell coming out being aggressive. And I also love them giving him the opportunity to. A lot of times you look at guys around the league, Colin Murray Boyles is one, but Asa Newell is another. They don't get the opportunities to go out and be aggressive. When you do get it, make some of it. He's doing that 5 of 5 today.
Yeah, I like the pace of this game to a point for the Georgia Bulldogs. I thought it started to get away a little bit in that first half. I think high 60s, low 70s benefits the Bulldogs a little bit more. For the Missouri Tigers, they did great getting out in transition. They had 9 points off of Georgia's 5 turnovers. We know that's been their Achilles heel. And then Missouri, on the other hand, I thought took a little too many threes. They shoot 37%, but they were, I think, 5 of 19. That's a lot of three-pointers. I think they got to have paint touches and then spray out.
They keep having more and more opportunities. If you offensive rebounds, 13 offensive rebounds for Missouri. You saw Mike White. Mike White was not a happy camper, especially right there. They had 5 different looks at it.
Yeah, and that's how you win games on the road, and particularly at the SEC. Look, so this shot goes up, and it's not bad box outs. It's just a bad bounce. And Caleb Grill wanted the basketball more. Again, the ball goes up, but you have a broken defense. Block. There you go. Robinson, quicker to the basketball. Wanted it more. Here it goes again.
3.
See, they could cruise that time. There was more box out. Josh Gray, he wanted it more. If you want to survive and advance and get to the tournament for the Georgia Bulldogs, these are rebounds that you have to secure.
Yeah, it starts with that, and it seems to be a snowball effect. You got to get that under control. Like you said, pay attention to the details if you want to get over that hump.
It reminds me exactly of what we saw between Vanderbilt and Tennessee earlier, that Vanderbilt in that first half necessarily wanted it. Tennessee, well, they wanted it a little bit more in the second half. Let's go ahead and show you highlights of that one. In Knoxville, 5th-ranked Tennessee. Of course, the Doors looking for a sweep against their in-state rivals. Is that released for Jason Edwards?
Jason Edwards, listen, I tell kids that I train, I hate when they flick the shot. This young man, you can flick the shot.
Zakai leads the Vols in that second half turnaround. How about this shot, Charlie?
Yeah, this is about being aggressive. Zakai is understanding that he is the motor of this group, and you have to not have to accept what the defense is giving you. Sometimes you got to go take, but you need guys to help you. Akbara did a little bit more as far as giving him lanes to go drive to open it up for a 5-9 guy.
It was just emotion as well. You just saw the crowd got into it, Zakai got into it. They end up getting that victory. A lot of emotions in Stegman right now. Caleb Grill, that's tough for 11. But they're down 3 at the half.
It's more than a field. It's where friends are made, where fun is had, and memories last forever. And this is where we bring it home for less. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
At Regions, we believe there are simple steps that anyone can take to be good with money. Kyle, for example, is using Regions balance alerts and overdraft grace to keep a close eye on his accounts and be good with money. A Regions screen print plan is helping him adopt better spending habits so he can adopt Maggie. Now he can do good with money. With guidance, everyone can be good with money and find financial confidence. Let Regions show you the way.
No alarms tell me when to snack. Nice try, Kevin. So my advice? Stop looking for advice. And if you want to grab a snack, grab a snack. Who's hungry?
Fungus is not just an embarrassing cosmetic problem. It can also be dangerous. Even small spots can spread and get worse. Drugstore remedies and prescriptions just don't get to the root cause of your fungus. That's why this simple 2-minute hack has gone viral. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. It works by deeply penetrating and disrupting the cellular structure of the fungus. Thousands are literally wiping their fungus clean and showing off their toes again. And now you can try it totally risk-free. Go to Crystal.
Number 1 versus number 2. Nate Oates breaking out the nice sports coat.
National Player of the Year candidate and in the league. Why? Because I add this to my game. Step out, knock him down.
8-0 run. Then it was 9-2, trying to get back involved. Broom.
Ooh, come on.
Come on.
Newspaper lift. Soft, Sean.
14-6 at that point. 14-8. Everybody kind of calming down right now, Fish. But 0 for 5 for Alabama behind the arc. What do you like about the tempo? What do you not like about the tempo of this game, I should say?
Well, when you're playing the Alabama Crimson Tide, the key is controlling their tempo for 40 minutes. So it's 4-minute segments. I would say Auburn won the first 4-minute segments. And you mentioned that they were 0 for 5, never quite able to get into the pace. Mark Sears tried to press the tempo a little bit. The key to controlling tempo, though, is the ability to score and execute on the offensive end. Bruce Pearl will stick to his substitutions, but as those substitutions come in, they got to continue to score to be able to set their defense.
Yeah, and Auburn doing a great job getting back defensively and containing the inside. The three-point line, they know who the shooters are. They're staying there on them, but the other guys, they're almost daring them to shoot. Fowler's had a couple of times where he's turned down shots and he's had Caldwell on them. Caldwell is saying, I'm not letting you beat me to the rim. So he's playing a protect-style defense where you understand where your shooters are, just control the boards, man.
And they have length. They have length so they can do that. They have longer length at their wings and their guards.
The big touches and penetrating kicks, that's a big piece of Alabama's offense.
Pretty sure they're playing no blood, no foul. Out there, they are letting them play. We'll get you caught up on that one throughout the day. We had another final earlier today. Texas A&M taking on Arkansas. Remember, Arkansas playing their way back into good graces of Joe Lunardi. Buzz Williams trying to get a big victory. And how about this play?
So we start calling the Texas A&M Aggies the 2-seed Texas A&M Aggies.
That's
getting a little respect.
Top 16 seeds did come out earlier today. They were a 2-seed because of a place like this. Wade Taylor, the 4th for 3.
Are we sleeping on their guards, Wade Taylor and Jerry Felton?
No, I don't think we are. I think we're sleeping. I think we're waiting on them to be able to exist together. The way they did today, they came on with both of them in double figures. That's big.
Zorfeld stepping up too, and Wade Taylor wasn't 100%. You can tell this team is growing. Wade Taylor, post-game, talked about it.
When I was a freshman, we was all coming in together, so we were kind of inexperienced. Now, me, Hayden, Manny, Henry, we've been in the game for a minute now, so we kind of know what the pressure is and what the game's going to bring night in and night out. So we kind of just lean on each other, and we just take our time.
Well, your coach loves you. We know that. It's Valentine's Day. You hit a big bucket, and you get a hug from him.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this one. This came right after Inovicic's 3. What does it mean to get the support that you get from Buzz?
That's my guy, man. I came here for a reason, because of that guy. And he stayed guarded because I fell, and I appreciate it. I mean, without him, I'm going to be who I am today, and I'm thankful that I chose here.
The man smoother than Big Daddy Kane. His name is Blue. He's a boy. He's got 9 points. Georgia 3 at the break.
I take you, body, in sickness and in health, for as long as we shall live.
Well, child, I get to decide when I get paid. It's kind of crazy. We can't choose when we get paid. Charm changed that for me. My pay lets me get up to $500 of my pay when I need it. There's no interest, no credit checks, no mandatory fees. My pay gives me the freedom to handle anything that life brings. I have big goals, and I'm not waiting for payday anymore. And you shouldn't either. That's why I Chime. Join me at chime.com and get paid when you say.
The wallet was invented over 400 years ago, and it's barely changed since. At Ridge, we reinvented the wallet for the 21st century. Like RFID blocking, AirTag tracking, and a slim design. Try it out for 99 days risk-free.
luxury, it's not just award-winning, it's rewarding. Satva Mattresses supports all types of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service, which is why over 90% of customers would recommend Satva to friends and family. Satva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
It begins with the flicker of an idea. And when that idea happens, in a place made for creative, collaborative thinkers, that idea can transform you.
Auburn was up 14-4, a little 9-0 run for the Alabama Crimson Tide. No sooner than I said that, Auburn hits a three. I mean, this is back and forth, 17-13.
It's intriguing because even though Alabama's made that run, we were just talking about it off the air, it's still a lower scoring game. So I feel like the strategy there for Bruce Pearl is to keep that score lower. Mm-hmm. And so if you're NATO, you've got to find a way to get this pace going a little bit.
Kind of sounds like something you want Missouri to do in the pace of play coming up in that second half. We'll see how it plays out. 41-38. How about the four-time SEC Freshman of the Week player? Is a Newell. He's got 11 points. Bulldogs sparking. They're up 3 at break.
Organic and dairy-free. Woo!
Here we go.
Third time today.
At Sprouts, our shelves are filled with new, exciting, and delicious discoveries. This is that Sprouts feeling.
Y'all see this? Patrick Mahomes is saying goodbye. People was tripping.
Where are you going?
He was actually saying goodbye to his old phone.
I'm switching to the amazing new iPhone 16 with T-Mobile.
It's the first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence. That's like peanut butter on jelly on gold.
At T-Mobile, get iPhone 16 on us. Plus, families can switch and save 20% on plans plus streaming versus the other big guys.
What a deal. Y'all giving it away too fast. T-Mobile, slow down.
It's the dawn of a new era in the SEC, and it's a whole new ballgame. We're bringing more to every practice, every pregame, every time we sing it, sling it, and swing it. Ask anybody, nobody brings it like we do in the SEC. More than ever, it just means more.
Entertaining first half here at Segment Coliseum. The Georgia Bulldogs in need of an upset, leading at 41-38 as we welcome you back inside. He is Professor Mark Wise, and I am Mike Morgan. The question becomes, Mark, with Missouri doing a lot of things right, winning the battle on the offensive glass, Caleb Brill heating up, how is Georgia leading in this game?
In league play, Georgia averages more than 13 turnovers per, only 5 in the first half.
And Georgia certainly providing some of their best performances with their freshman Asa Newell, who gives us our big flex play brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Asa Newell has been perfect, 5 for 5 from the field, scores in a variety of ways around the basket, and oh yeah, he gives us a big Southwest flex.
Newell has been flexing all year. In fact, how about this? Division I freshmen leading their team in points and rebounds. There's only 2. Cooper Flagg of Duke and Asa Newell of Georgia. And if you know a thing or two about Montverde Academy, and I know you do, Mark Wise, you know that they are yearly one of the most talented high school programs. And yes, both those guys were teammates for Montverde.
Give me that group, and I'll coach against any team you want to play.
Any group of high scorers, right? That type of coaching prowess that separates you from the pack. Georgia up by 3. That goaltend was reversed, by the way, so the score you see is correct.
Again, Pierce, 31% from beyond the arc, has been in double figures 7 times. hasn't really shot the ball that well in SEC play, but now he's made 2 from bonus land.
We're right back to another tie, and we've had several ties and lead changes already in this game. Kane lobs it up to Godfrey. Godfrey takes it right in on Mitchell. Towers colliding, and the better half that time was the former Clemson Tiger.
One of the things that Georgia's done a good job of, they're not getting caught on the switch, trying to guard Mark Mitchell. Now here's an isolation.
Mitchell on Godfrey says, I got 2 for you, big guy. Right back returns the favor.
Mitchell gets both feet in the paint. That play is over. You must meet him with more physicality outside the paint.
So strong, so versatile, so good. Mark Mitchell, number 25 in black. Pass down low. Newell continues his perfect night in the office. He's now 6 for 6 with 13 points. Mitchell, pump fake on the 3, finds Perkins, and this time Mitchell will take it. He had all day, he spots it up and drills it.
Just a 23% shooter from deep. That's his 10th made 3 of the year. I gotta believe that Georgia can live with that.
What a pickup in the portal to get Mark Mitchell out of Duke.
How about Newell with a little guard skills?
Booker guarded by Mitchell. Trying to lob it into Newell. Newell mismatch, and that one was just too much for the much smaller Anthony Robinson. Mouse in the house for Newell.
How about the crafty little pass by Godfrey, though, big to big.
Dogs have made their last 6 shots now, and Missouri not to be outdone. Anthony Robinson with the mid-range.
The fun part for me in this game is both offenses are on point.
A dozen ties, a dozen lead changes.
Nobody has missed a shot in the second half.
That's going to be a hold foul on Missouri on Tony Perkins.
After the switch against Newell, watch this pass by Godfrey. High-low action. The lob is over. Robinson is trying to front. He just cannot get on that floor. That's a floor that Newell lives on and very few others do.
Speaking of floor, this is our first trip to Stegman this year. They've got the new hardwood. Kind of digging the look here.
Yeah.
So you got the new floor, you got the student section rocking it night in, night out. This is not the Stegman I remember from a few years ago. Really great environment here today in Athens and really throughout this season for Mike White's club.
Same thing, high-low.
And again, that time Newell missed it. A little too much English off the window. Georgia snaps a 6 consecutive field goal make streak. And Missouri will try and make them pay on the other end. Robinson with the pump fake. Dipsy do, and a beautiful take by Anthony Robinson, the vastly improved sophomore out of Tallahassee, Florida.
I like the ball fake instead of putting the ball on the deck and going back and forth off the bounce.
Demery, great move, but off the back iron. Missouri up 3 and looking for more. And that's a reach-in foul on R.J. Godfrey.
Anthony Robinson averaging more than 9 points a game this year. Had 10 against Oklahoma. It was the ball fake. No rotation defensively. That's an easy do. So right now, Mike, I feel like coming out of the locker room, Missouri is getting their shots easier than Georgia's getting theirs.
The thing about Missouri, seemingly every possession, they get a paint touch. Now, the shot doesn't always go off from the paint, but with that paint touch, sets up open shooters outside as well.
You and I had the game Wednesday night where Mark Mitchell went to the free throw line 18 times. That's the most by a Missouri player in over 10 seasons.
They had no answer for 25 in black. Georgia bottled them up well in the first half, but you do not want to see him at night if you're a Georgia fan. Newell banging bodies with Mitchell down low. Godfrey takes it strong. No, Newell had the rebound. Contact. No call. Missouri.
I just love look early, look opposite. that makes the defense rotate quicker than they want to.
And a foul on Missouri, but the highlight of the second half comes courtesy of Tamar Bates on a 7-0 run.
Coming right at you. Look offensively. Missouri on top in the second half.
I'm getting vaccinated Pfizer's pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm getting Prevnar 20 because pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital, and my risk is 6 times greater because I'm over 50.
The CDC just expanded its recommendation for those 50 or older to get vaccinated. You're also at risk if you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions. Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect against both pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle and joint pain. Millions have chosen Prevnar vaccines, which have helped protect adults for over a decade and have an established safety profile.
That's why I chose Prevnar 20.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20.
Waiting until Friday to get paid? It's tricky. Never heard about Chime. Now I get paid 2 days early, no fees. I'm a musician and a music teacher, and I play gigs. Sometimes I have to travel and rent out equipment before the weekend, or else I have to cancel. Early payday guarantees that I can make it to any gig, any rehearsal, anytime. It's easier for me to do what I was put on the planet to do, and that's music. Join me at chime.com.
This game's had a little bit of everything thus far. It started with a 1-0 Georgia lead on a starting lineup violation on Missouri, an untimed free throw to start the game. A game of runs, a game of ties and lead changes. 12 ties, 13 lead changes. The importance of this game we've talked about, Mark, and really it begins and ends with the rest of a daunting schedule.
Well, again, the Bulldogs, who have a bye after this game, they don't play midweek. They go to Auburn next Saturday and then get Florida back at home. Now, on paper, if you're looking at this and you would go, okay, at Texas, at South Carolina, Vanderbilt at home, possible wins. They've got to get to 7 league wins just to be in the conversation. 8 would get you in as you take a look. No hiccups in their quad 2, 3, 4 whatsoever in terms of evaluating Mike White and his team's resume.
With this game against another ranked opponent, Georgia has played more ranked opponents than any team in college basketball, over 350 of them. That said, it can't just be strength of schedule. You've got to win some of those tough matchups, and that's why this game is so very important with a quad 1 opportunity on the line. Anything you want to see out of Georgia offensively to differ than what we've seen so far in the second half?
No, they've gotten a lot of mileage out of the high-low look, but you've got to be careful throwing it back to the top of the key. That's got pick 6 written all over it. Georgia's still only with 5 turnovers in the game. So they've checked that box, but the three-point differential is too great right now to overcome. They're minus 15 in three-point differential. They've only made 2. Missouri's made 7.
Instant offense, Caleb Grill comes into the game for Missouri at 7 in the first half. Shot clock was ticking down, so Surreal had to fire that one up. Not sure if that was option A off the out-of-bounds play. Perkins lobbing it down low to Gray. Pounded by Surreal. Gray just threw it up. I don't know if he even saw the rim when he tossed it up, but it goes down.
The huddle is a circle of trust. Here, big plans become big plays. Standing shoulder to shoulder, sharing an unbreakable bond. The huddle is where confidence is forged and where the game is won. Financial confidence is built that way too, working together on your region's Greenbelt plan. Let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank.
I take you, body, in sickness and in health, for as long as we shall live.
Hey neighbor, you switched to T-Mobile home internet yet?
Trim your hedge.
It's $35 a month with no price hikes. Damn! It runs on T-Mobile's wireless 5G network, so all you gotta do is plug in one cord. T-Mobile 5G home internet. Just $35 a month. And with Price Lock, we won't raise your rate on internet.
I did it. Oh! I switched to T-Mobile home internet, and I am loving it.
Don't sneak up on me like that.
I am naturally biased because I just joined Ridge as the chief creative partner, but I'm just going to speak facts here. It's slim, it's RFID blocking, it's awesome, it's comfortable, I love it. I carry it every day. And then every wallet at Ridge.com has like an unlimited lifetime warranty, so you don't have to worry about it falling apart. Check it out at Ridge.com.
Asa Newell, the outstanding freshman for the Georgia Bulldogs, on display here this afternoon. Operates mainly block-to-block at this point in time in his career, but he's going to fill out, get better and better. He leads this team in scoring today with 17 points in an efficient manner, 8 for 9 shooting. But he also sets up others. He also impacts the game. He's got 6 rebounds and a couple of assists. Georgia, I think, is going to have a lot of touches from Newell down the stretch.
Part of our M&M Fat 5 Frosh. We've got 5 incredibly talented freshmen in the league this year. Hediford of Auburn, you mentioned him earlier, Mark. He's terrific.
Trey Johnson for Texas, I think he is most ready to play in his position at the next level than any other player on this list.
Jeremiah Fear started off red hot. He's cooled off of late, but certainly when he gets it going, he's one of the best in the country.
LeBaron Philon is a double-figure scorer for Alabama, but he also gets 3.5 rebounds and 3.5 assists a game.
And then, of course, Asa Newell. He's kind of showed you his entire bag in this ball game. Power and authority down low, feathery touch at times in the paint, and a mid-range game at 6'11", 220 pounds. A really special-looking future lottery pick.
And we would be remiss if we didn't mention that Cleveland would definitely be on that list because he's injured and out for the season. He was averaging 15 per before he got hurt for the Hawks.
Yeah, it's even more painful since Arkansas finally has gotten it going here of late, but they're in the NCAA tournament conversation. They still got work to do, as does this Georgia team. They're on the right side of the bubble today, but a home loss and a tough pass by Montgomery leads to an easy deuce. The kind of mistake you simply cannot have against Missouri.
You just have to be more careful with the basketball. That's an unforced turnover. Yes, Missouri's pressuring you, but so does every other team you play.
Largest lead now for Mizzou. Gut check time for Georgia, down by 8.
And that's the play that they worked on all day during shoot-around today. That's a quality look.
And out of bounds to Missouri.
We talked about the turnovers, the points off turnovers, the quick hands of Anthony Robinson. Mizzou on the road now with 13 points off turnovers.
Satva Mattresses supports all types of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service. Which is why over 90% of customers would recommend Satva to friends and family. Satva, luxury mattresses made affordable.
College game day is rolling.
We out here.
Big three, we're bringing the energy.
Plenty of hoop knowledge.
And a whole lot of fun.
College game day live from Columbia.
Sunday at 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Crowd trying to rise the spirits in Georgia right now. The Bulldogs are on the wrong end of a 16-7 run by Missouri. It's now a 10-point lead. You see the importance of this game. You could say Missouri is playing with some house money, but if they pick up a a road win here, a quad one win against the Georgia Bulldogs. They're in.
Lock. Forget about it. They're in.
Take the mystery out of it. Georgia's not in the same enviable situation. A game like this is uber important if they're going to get over the hump for the resume, and you consider what it looks like and what the Lenardi SEC bubble looks like. You've got Oklahoma, you've got Texas. I think Vandy's in really good shape. They'll lock horns with Vandy here in the regular season finale. You and I will have that one.
Right.
And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, Arkansas starting to pick up steam.
Oklahoma and Texas both play at home tonight. Oklahoma against LSU, Texas against Kentucky. I think that's a must-win for Oklahoma. They're one of the, in league play, Georgia only makes 5.8. That's 15th in the league. As a matter of fact, Mike, there are 4 teams in league play that shoot less than 30% from the arc. None of those 4 have a winning record in league play.
So what you're telling me is shooting is important.
Shooting is important. Coaches will tell you, what do you have to do to win? Defend and rebound. We got to defend and rebound. No, you don't. Stop trying to tell us that. You got to score. You got to make shots.
Just look at Alabama's path to the Final Four last year. They were not one of those leading Ken Pom defensive teams, but man, they could score on anybody, and they did score all the way to the Final Four.
And before my phone gets blown up,
and
yes, you do have to have a defensive presence. But I would argue that it's more important that you have a defense on a certain guy or on certain action, or that your scouting report is solid defensively. But in terms of being a lockdown defensive club, I think there's only maybe one in the league. That's probably Texas A&M because of the way they play.
Well, that's how the second half has gone. Grill fired up an air ball. The hardest play to rebound in basketball is the air ball. It wound up back to Missouri. Now, a foul was called, but the question is, did that happen before or after the shot clock expired? Time for a review.
Call on the floor is a foul on 14 White prior to the shot clock. That play is under review by rule.
Take another look. Shot clock above. Yeah, I think it happened, but I'm not sure it was a foul.
Well, that part is not reviewable, as we know. So, from that indication, Trent Peters is going to go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
I mean, when you take a look at the numbers, Georgia on the afternoon, Mike, I mean, they're solid. They're 54% from the field. They've only gone to the line 8 times, but it's those turnovers, and they've been the pick 6 variety. 8 turnovers, but Mizzou has
the foul does occur before the shot clock expiring. 2 shots for Black 11.
But 15 Missouri points off those miscues. The 8 is a great number.
Right.
But the pick 6s, you just can't live with.
It's got to be the most frustrating thing in the world for Mike White because he knows the importance of not turning it over. He coaches that.
Right.
Sometimes you're at the mercy of what happens in stressful situations for your players, and if you don't get clean point guard play, it's really tough to win in this league. On Monday, SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the Mississippi State basketball squad. You'll get a real behind-the-scenes look, 7 Eastern time, right here on the SEC Network. Of course, Chris Jans trying to make it 3 for 3 years as the head coach in Stark Vegas, and potentially 3 NCAA tournaments. That has not been done in quite some time in Starkville.
Those 2 teams, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, who play in just a little bit today, kind of trending in opposite directions. State has lost 3 of their last 4. Ole Miss picked up 2 road wins a week ago, or in the last week, by a total of 6 points.
Coach Beard's squad peaking perhaps at the right time as Newell pulls the trigger. And Bates had it. Brill cleans it up. Missouri and the lead a little more clock here as we're under 5 minutes to go. Missouri trying to improve to 19-6 overall, 8-4 in SEC play. or get to that time of the year mark, you start thinking about who gets the bye, the double bye in the SEC tournament in Nashville. Missouri's going to be in the conversation there.
I'd like to make a point about that. I don't think the double bye this year will be as important to winning that tournament as it will be. You don't have to play 4 games in 4 days with the physicality of this league this particular year. I think that's the importance this year of the double bye, maybe more than it's ever been in this conference.
I'm with you. Pierce has it rejected by absent. Late clock situation.
With the basket, that's what I meant with the pace of play. Georgia couldn't take their game up to that pace. Missouri got it into the pace that they wanted, and that's the difference in the game.
And also, when you look at Missouri, you got to understand their depth. You got 8, 9 people playing in double-figure minutes, dog. That wears on you. At some point, if you don't have the artillery to go to that war, I think you ought to sit this one out.
Grill for 15. Robinson ended up having 15. Mark Mitchell ends up having 14. But the man who had 13 right there, part of a team effort, Tamar Bates. Tamar, this was a very impressive turnaround in the second half. What sparked it?
Just us sticking to our mentality, our disposition as a team, not just being TPE, tough, physical, disruptive. We was able to get some stops. I got you back. I
love it. So, hey, Tamar. So, this team continues to have a chip on their shoulder. You can tell that you are connected, you're unified. What do you think keeps this team motivated?
He asked me a question.
He's trying to ask you a question. So, Tamar, what do you think keeps this team motivated to prove everybody wrong?
I don't really think it's a thing of us trying to prove anybody wrong at this point. We're just proving ourselves right. We know who we are. We know what we got in that locker room. So at the end of the day, we're